Rashad, why you
Anyways,
didn't hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
I didn't even have an intro video set up, but welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligans. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs, and we have a very, very special edition tonight. As you guys have seen, the Las Vegas Aces have won their third championship in 4 years, and to celebrate with me, I got my old A-League brother with me in the building. We have all the way from the Carolinas himself. We got Akeem Balaam. Akeem, how you feeling?
I can't hear you for some reason.
Well, say that again.
Yeah, for some reason I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Let me see. Keem just heard me a second ago. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on. Let's see if Keem can get me in a second. Can you hear me now? You still can't hear me? You can't? Yay or nay? No? Okay. All right. Try leaving and then come back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Keem is going to try to come back and things of that sort. But history has been made. Well, not history, but another stamp in history. And this is a big night because just in the span of dang 2 weeks, Asia has moved into the top 5 all time for me. Not only that, she's moved in from 5 to now she's at 4 for me. Can you hear me now, Keem?
Oh, yeah. Now I can hear you loud and clear. Now we good.
Yes, there we go. Keem, like
yes.
I said, it's been a big couple weeks for A'ja Wilson and my personal board for all-time rankings. When she won her 4th MVP, she moved into the top 5 for me. She bumped out Candace Parker at the 5 spot. And now I got her going to number 4 past Cheryl Swoops. And if she wins another one, she will be in the top 3 and making a strong argument to go into the top 2. And ultimately, if she wins 5, you have to put her number 1. That's for me. Keem, with you, I guess just starting off, man, when talking about legacy instead of going to the team and talking about the Aces. I just want to ask you, bro, like, where is A'ja right now for you, legacy wise?
I mean, she's definitely for sure in that, certainly in that top 5. I feel like that she certainly established herself. If she wasn't already in that GOAT conversation alongside the Candace Parkers and the Diana Taurasi's and the Cheryl Swoops and the Maya Moores of the world, if she wasn't already there before, she is definitely there now. 3 championships, 4 MVPs, and one of the things, and I think this is probably the most impressive, arguably, of their 3 championships that they've won, because you think about just where they've had to go to in order to get to this point. I mean, we were talking about this Aces team, the possibility that they might not even make the playoffs about maybe a month and change ago, and now look where we're at. Long winning streak, extended run in the playoffs, and a sweep in the finals. I mean, A'ja Wilson, she is definitely for sure in that GOAT conversation, that upper echelon of it.
You look at this. I was on mute. If you look at this, my GOAT, Cynthia Cooper Dyke, only played 5 seasons and won 4 championships in those 5 seasons. Passed the age of 34 at the beginning of the WNBA and things of that sort. Left for 2 years to be the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury. Came back for one more season in 2003 at the age of 40. And, that's my GOAT, all-time, points per game average of above 20 points, nearly 5 assists, 3 rebounds. And then, I have Maya Moore at number 2. And then I have DT at 3. And then I have A'ja at 4. And because, A'ja and DT both have 3 now. But, DT is still the all-time leading scorer and things of that sort. And so I got to give the edge to DT. However, you get to 4, you're now in a conversation with Maya and Cynthia Cooper, Dyke and things of that sort. So, Keem, man, it's crazy, man. What really stood out to you in this series, bro?
I mean, what stood out to me was just the fact that in many ways, I was expecting the Aces to win, but I don't think anybody outside of the state of Nevada was expecting it to be a sweep. But I think really when you think about it, the Aces, this series wasn't necessarily won tonight. Obviously, it was won in game 3 with that close game. They had Vegas had the big lead. Then Phoenix had the huge comeback, and we're all thinking, "Oh wow, is Phoenix really about to do this? Are they really about to stun the Aces and make this into a series?" That Asia Wilson game winner at the end of game 3, that was what won the series. And it kind of stinks for Phoenix because obviously no Satu Sabali for game 4. But yeah, absolutely. That's really where this is really where the series was won. And I think a big part of it goes back to the season, the regular season. Even when we both had to go back to this when we think about when we think about it. I just got the notification, Asia is indeed your finals MVP. But even going back to the season when the Aces weren't looking like themselves, they still won the season series 3-1 over the Mercury. So when you look at the totality of the season, regular season, postseason, this is really a Vegas team that really, in many ways, they had the Phoenix Mercury's number this entire time.
No, 100%, Keem. I think, like you said, going into the series, if you just looked at the two teams individually and their paths, you would look at it like, okay, of course, Phoenix kind of looked really good. They look good and they're really, had just a good roster on paper coming into the series. And you look at Vegas, Vegas was limping all season long, teetering around 500, near the bottom of the playoff standings. And then they go on the 16-game winning streak. And that's when everything kind of turns around. But then they lose a couple games in the, to Seattle first round. You're like, okay, all right, maybe they are mortal. And then, they go and then struggle in the semifinals without Caitlin Clark and half of the Indiana Fever. And then you're like, okay, maybe they're coming back down to earth. And they get here, and it's all about matchups in the playoffs, as you know, you and I know. And like you said, looking at that, taking a step back and looking at the big overall picture of how does Vegas match up with Phoenix, and seeing that regular season series, like you said, was 3-1 Vegas, would have been a huge thing to know going in, but I didn't do my homework. I'm just looking at who looks better in the playoffs, and I ain't gonna lie to you, who was looking better in the playoffs? It was Phoenix, and I picked Vegas still to win, like you did, but I thought it was going to be a little much more of a battle and an ugly championship win for Vegas because they just had an ugly postseason run.
Yeah, they did have an ugly postseason run. I mean, Seattle gave them a scare, especially in those last 2 games. Then you had Indiana, like you said, without Caitlin Clark, and then ultimately without, I believe they didn't have Kelsey Mitchell either, in one of those games. But yeah, I mean the Aces for so much of these, playoffs, especially against the Storm and the Fever, they were looking kind of shaky. But one thing that I continuously go back to is when you just look at the overall picture of the season, what really it's so amazing because Phoenix in many ways kind of did the Aces a favor because of the fact that they eliminated the Minnesota Lynx in the semifinals. So when they eliminated Minnesota in the semifinals, that set the Aces up really well to where all of a sudden, okay, Vegas got the home court in the finals, and it's a best of 7. So now it's a situation where, with it being a best of 7, Vegas has the home court, and they will get the 7th game if it got to a 7th game. Obviously, it didn't get to a 7th game, but in a sense, the Mercury kind of did the Aces a little bit of a favor. So in many ways, they kind of did Vegas a favor by eliminating Minnesota, because Minnesota just fell apart. I mean, Fee got hurt again. Cheryl Reeve trying to scrap with the refs. So I mean, in many ways, they kind of did the Aces a favor. But yeah, Phoenix did look a lot better going into the finals. But like you said, these playoff series, these championship series, they all come down to matchups, and they favored Vegas, and we saw that throughout these 4 games.
And Kyle Copper, as well at that end of the third quarter interview with Holly Rowe, she's looking and Holly's, I guess, trying to make some type of light of it or whatever. They have to interview Phoenix at the end of the third quarter. And Kyle just like calls out the ref. She's like, if I'm gonna go out swinging, I'm gonna get this fine. My thing is, you're down by 20 points, you're about to get swept, 1 quarter left. That's the perfect thing to do. Blame the refs. Like, I'm with Kathy Engelberg on that.
When she made that
Complaining about
comment,
the
she
refs
said
for
she
losers,
made.
man. I'm with Kathy. I'm with Kathy on that one. She ate when that one, Lil. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you
man,
mean.
like,
I see what you mean.
You down 20 points. Y'all about to get swept. You talking about the referees have been horrible this game. Man, y'all take this loss and go to Cancun and
scoreboard
for Miami for Unrivaled in a couple months, man.
Scoreboard. Yeah. But
okay.
I mean, Kai's been here before, though.
Also, Keem, before you continue, we've got 21 days left until October 31st. I thought October. The Aces did us a favor by sweeping and ending the season earlier than what it could have been, which gives us darn near 3 weeks to come up with an agreement on the new CBA before we go into a lockout. Is there any chance, even a 1% chance, that the WNBA and the Women's and the Players Association comes to an agreement by Halloween?
Is there a 1% chance? I think the better question, man, that you need to ask, is there even a 0.1% chance that they come to an agreement? Because based on what Cheryl Reeves said after the Lynx got bounced in the semifinals, and based on what Fee said, I mean, they're not on the same page. They're not in the same book. They're not reading the same book. They're not even in the same Barnes and Noble, man. I mean, I'll be pleasantly surprised if they are able to come to a new CBA, but right now I'm not so sure. It ain't looking good right about now for that.
Yeah, man. It's I think, like you said, the question now isn't if, but like how long? How long will this lockout be? Okay, if we say this is the last bit of WNBA basketball that we got for a while now, and you say, oh, well, at least we got this game. At least it went out on a high note. It didn't really go out on a high note. It wasn't a close competitive series. It was a couple games were kind of close. Phoenix had a chance to win. They did the respectable thing of like, let's go out with some dignity, and they competed tonight after being down by 20 at home, and they're about to get swept in the finals. A side note, I want to say, I know DB and AT have to be tired of losing to Asia Wilson in the finals. Like, they have to. Like, the Connecticut Sun, the reason why they blew it up and all went their separate places is because it just didn't work. And then you see DB go with AT again in the middle of the season, and it's like, this is why y'all left Connecticut. It didn't work.
2022.
It didn't work, man.
2022. And it's interesting because 2022, it's so amazing how, Connecticut, they went into that series, like you said, as kind of that team that would always get there, but couldn't quite grab that briefcase at the top of the ladder. That was the beginning of the Vegas dynasty, and how you look forward, like you fast forward 3 years later, and AT and DB, like you said, are still losing to Asia Wilson and company. Amazing.
DB had 10 points tonight, 10 and 10, double.
Mm-hmm.
I need more points from DB stepping into the starting lineup, stepping up for Satu Sabli. I understand, DB's on the older end. Like, anything that you get from her as a late season addition is a bonus. However, DB was hooping earlier in the series. She had some games where she was putting up a lot of points. I need more scoring from DB in a situation like this. And that might sound unfair or whatever. It is what it is. That's just, last game it was AT. AT had like 10 points, 12 points last game. You see she had 17 to go with the triple-double. You see Kyle always does what Kyle does with 30. But to finish out the big three. All three of the big three needs to be on their game to beat the Aces. And that's
especially in
just
a game
what that is.
4, do or die game 4.
Especially in a do or die game 4. Jewel Lloyd, I do want to say something about Jewel Lloyd. She had a sensational final series and things of that sort. Only ended up with 12 points in 31 minutes here. But I remember when she was, she got them off to a fast start today. And when she was making a couple threes, to hear Ryan on the call and stuff like that, really hype her up. It was just like, this is what she's supposed to be doing. Like, at what point did we minimize the expectation for Jewel Lloyd to where it was acceptable for her to get 9 points in the game? Like, she's supposed to be getting 20 plus points. This is one of the best scorers of her time. I don't want to hear nothing about, hey, shout out to Nikias and everybody, but gosh, I don't want to hear about her defense and her offensive rebounding, bro. Like, they brought her in to get buckets, bro. She's one of the greatest scorers in her WNBA era. Her and Enrique are like 1A, 1B of scoring. I don't care about her offensive rebounding and her defense. And so when she come in and she did what she did this series of giving me 19, giving me 17, giving me 20, giving me all these, and great 3-point shooting and things of that sort. I loved it, bro. And she came out again today with the 3-point shooting to get them really started and to get the momentum going to build their confidence early on. Only ended up with 12, but shoot. Sometimes that's all you need when the rest of the big three is doing what they have to do. Chelsea Gray stepped up stud, but big time with the 18 4-4. Jackie Young, her third championship. Man, Jackie Young's really been living up to that number one pick hype for the past couple of years now. And you have to give her credit as well for how she's performed and things of that sort. And then Asia is kind of like unsaid at this point, but 31 points in 36 minutes, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Just sensational. Let me see who else. Dana Evans, 10 points. She's finishing double-digit scoring. She had a big, huge, what was that, game 1?
Yeah, it was game 1, I believe. She dropped 21 points off the bench.
Game 1, huge game 1 for her. They don't win this series in the sweep without Dana Evans. They don't win this series in the sweep without Jewel Lloyd waking up and remember who the heck she is. Nalissa Smith, she got a big steal early on and things of that sort. But once again, it's like Nalissa Smith was supposed to be who she is supposed to be coming out the draft. Her family on Twitter tweeting at Ryan Howard that Nalissa is better than him. Well, family, as tough as I am on Ryan Howard, Nalissa Smith is indeed not better than Ryan Howard. It just is what it is. As tough as I am on Ryan. What up, Ryan, though? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying healthy, everything like that. I seen you with Leash and you know what I mean, around the city and things of that sort. Here go the video of Asia. Hey. Look, Kathy trying to pat their back. We is not friends. Look at KB. I know Instagram going crazy. Oh man, but it's gonna be different though. With we don't have no Sydney Colson no more. We don't have Sid Colson no more, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's an indie.
she was the one that hosted the Instagram live, man, for the whole team. So I live now. Like, is it gonna be Asia? Is it Stacy? Is it Becky? It's probably gonna be.
It's probably gonna be. It could be Asia for all we know.
Or Nalissa Cap, or KB.
KB, yeah, you're good call. Good call.
Yeah, I'm going with the youngins who have technology, who know how to work the technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. I just want you to know, Bam, this is a feeling you'll never have in the NBA, sir. Unless you get traded, you ain't never getting this in Miami.
Poor Bam. Poor Bam.
Tyler Hero will not lead you to the promised land.
I see.
Oh, she was getting booed.
You know that was gonna happen.
Hey, yo, that's funny, man.
You know that was gonna happen. That was coming.
Look at the A1s. I feel like we often don't recognize greatness until it's gone. Everyone wants to talk about Caitlin Clark and injuries, but Asia Wilson is one of the greatest players to ever touch basketball. Congratulations, champ. Hey, shout out to Isaiah Smalls, for sure. However, that's all everyone has talked about for the past 2 weeks is Asia Wilson being the greatest player.
That's all everyone is talking about for the past month.
I know it's two different realities of like casual women's basketball fans and women's basketball fans, but that's all everybody's ever talked about for the last 2 weeks. Jeez Louise. And they bring back the USA commercial. That's crazy. Yeah. That's cold, man. That's cold, bro. That's cold.
Talk about a trophy case. Woo.
Man, what?
Uh-huh.
And they sitting down Becky. I remember, like you said, a couple months ago, they wanted to fire Becky. You know what I'm saying? They
were saying trade Jewel
for De'Erica. And shouts out to De'Erica, by the way. Marietta girl, Marcani. Like Georgia girl. Like that's my dog. That's home team 100%. I'm team De'Erica Hamby with Indy.
Oh, yeah.
On Indy. Hey.
One of my favorites.
Blue Devils. You know what I'm saying? 100%. However, Becky, she faced all the things. She outcoached Nate Tibbetts. She outcoached him, put him in the zone, put Phoenix in that zone. They forgot how to play basketball offensively. They showed them that zone. Shouts out to Becky Hammond. You got to give credit where credit is due. August, everybody wanted to get Becky out of here. Everybody was saying it was, with the De'Erica allegations, with the other allegations and things of that sort. It looked like the Aces were crumbling. And Asia continued like she does every single year, put the team on her back, and that's why she is in the GOAT conversation. Being able to cover the Las Vegas Aces the last 2 seasons, I really got to cover a team that won the championship, made the greatest in-season turnaround in WNBA history, while Asia Wilson further solidified her GOAT status with the number MVP, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year, co-Defensive Player of the Year.
And another all WNBA first team.
And WNBA all first team. Let's look at the all WNBA teams. Wilson and the Aces have a chance to make one of the more remarkable in-season turnarounds. Are the cards in the Aces' favor? Good call. That's a good call right there. Hey.
Yeah.
Also receipts, bro.
Wasn't it B. Terrell who first tweeted like, "Oh, if the Aces when they were struggling, if the Aces are able to turn things around, Asia wins MVP." Well, dude was a prophet. Dude was a prophet.
Shout out to B. Terrell. Okay. Let's go to these first team, second teams for sure. All right, hold on. Give me a second to pull it up here. WNBA all WNBA first team. First team all defense. I saw Paige made second team. All right.
Yeah, Paige made second team.
So here we go. First team. Fee, Leash. Oh, well, the top 5 of MVP voting. No surprises here. Asia Wilson, AT, Kelsey Mitchell, Leash, and Afisa Collier. Congratulations to Leash putting on for the city, things of that sort. Big season for her. Down the stretch, it seemed like she was scared to take those big shots. That's unfortunate, but hopefully over on Rival and having a sour taste in their mouth from the way that they went out in the first round all season. Leash can come back next season and get right for real and do what she needs to do next season and get back right. Fee, obviously, it was kind of 1A, 1B in terms of the MVP, but Asia was just doing so much statistically that it was like her stats were stuff that we never seen before. AT is always, once again, AT always good, but not good enough when it comes to the MVP. Good, but not good enough when it comes to winning the championship. And that's tough for her legacy and things of that sort, especially coming with like 2 bad shoulders and all the other injuries she's faced, even getting banged up tonight. Kelsey Mitchell stepping up in place of and Caitlin Clark. Great seasons for all 5 of these women. Go ahead, Keem. Oh, well, I think Keem lost me on the on the audio there, but let's look at the second team. Second team, that is obvious of who is going to go here. Shots to Sabrina Nescu, great season for her. Keem, you're back. You're back. Do you want to speak on the first team before I continue talking about the second team?
Oh, it was like you said, it was as expected. I mean, it was like you said, the top five, the final five in terms of the MVP vote: Fee, Leash, Kelsey, Asia, and At. So it was no surprise there for sure. No surprise there.
All right, cool. So we're gonna scroll down to the second team. I feel like this was a little more up to interpretation. And while this was kind of like the next five in the MVP voting, it was still, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't locked down of who was gonna be this next five. So here we go. AB, Aaliyah Boston, great second half of the season once Caitlin Clark went down. Amazing postseason. I know it's a regular season honor, but she had a sensational postseason. Got to give big ups to her for that. Paige Beckers, Pistol Paige Beckers, my dog. I'm so proud of the baby. Second team already. Sab, y'all know that's my dog. Sabine, Sab, Ionescu. Amazing season, bro. She balled out all year long. Shout out to Sab. NECA had a great season as well, man. You know what I'm saying? She was in some MVP talks for a little bit, but you know, that top five was just too good all year. Excuse me. And then Jackie Young, like I said, she's really grown into her own these last couple of seasons as the number one pick that she is. Beyond just being an above average role player, she really took a leap. And I don't know what it was in the offseason workouts, but whatever it was, it worked out for her. And salute to Jackie Young. Keem, thoughts on the second team?
Wow. I mean, like, as far as the second team goes, like, it's interesting. I think about, NECA being on this team. Seattle was really one of those teams that really kind of had a roller coaster type season. Because if I remember correctly, at the break, they were in the top four. Then they kind of fell off in the second. They kind of fell off in the second half of the season. And it was a situation where lots of folks were thinking, oh, wow, would the Seattle Storm actually miss the playoffs after they had such a great start of the season? But yeah, definitely shout out to NECA Agwomake, shout out to Seattle Storm. Like I said, almost, gave the Aces a major scare in that first round of playoffs. And as well, Paige Beckers, I mean, all WNBA second team on top of Rookie of the Year. Dallas will be an interesting team, obviously, to watch in terms of what they're able to do as far as putting, players around Paige. Also, they got to hire a new coach. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see what Dallas does. But yeah, absolutely. The talent level of the WNBA is just something else. And it's only getting bigger because of, so much talent coming from the college ranks and with these new expansion teams. So absolutely.
Do you think Angel Reese gets traded to Dallas this offseason?
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, I feel like after Angel said what she said about Chicago, I feel like it's one of those situations they almost have to trade her. They almost had to trade her because really, when you think about it, they started ticking off like this wasn't the beginning of the fracturing of the Angel Reese Chicago Sky relationship. That whole thing in Chicago started getting fractured when they got rid of Coach Spoon. When they fired T Spoon after one season, and Angel Reese expressed how heartbroken she was about that. Like that was really the beginning, and then everything that, of course, transpired this season, especially the second half of the season. So who knows? I mean, it could be Dallas, it could be Phoenix, but it's a situation where regardless of what happens, I mean, Angel's still doing pretty well for herself. I mean, the Juicy Couture deal, the Victoria's Secret deal, I mean, she's still landing deals off the court. Absolutely. So Angel, regardless of where she goes, she's gonna be fine.
I think for Angel, I think I was talking about to somebody else. They said, they asked me the same question. They were like, do you think Angel Reese is going to get traded this offseason? And I said, that's tough because I do think for your brand to be the biggest possible brand that you can build, you need to have your feet planted somewhere. You do need to have a home. Like LeBron was in Cleveland for 9 seasons, and it was his hometown before he started bouncing around from team to team. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant was in OKC in Seattle for, the first, it felt like 9 seasons of his career at least before he bounced and started jumping from team to team. Shaq was kind of established for a while in Orlando and in LA before he, at the end of his career, bounced from team to team. Angel has built a connection with the fans and the city of Chicago outside of the Sky organization. And that's where she started to build a lot of her professional athlete brand. I think, if she leaves, you kind of have to kind of start from zero and you're building all over again. And that's the thing that I'm like, why I'm hesitant to say I think that she's just going to get traded. Because she says she wants to make it work in Chicago. That's what she said on our podcast. So we'll just have to see. But that's how I feel about that. If she does get traded to Dallas for the 1-2 tandem of her and Paige Beckers, oh boy, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
And
shout out to
that might be the next, exactly. It's Shaq and Penny. That might be the next big duo tandem to really compete with the Aces and, Washington with their 2 all-stars that they have as rookies too in the future.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And not only that, not only with Washington, because they got Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen, but also Georgia Amore. Like she wasn't healthy this year.
Yeah, Georgia's not even back yet. Yeah, 100%.
Right, absolutely.
Do they have something going on? Do they have their pick this year?
I gotta go back and check and see, but as evidenced by what they were able to do in this draft, they know how to draft. I mean, they hit home runs with both Kiki and Sonia.
The Mystics on their own pick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's go do this. Let's go do this mock draft from CBS Sports. They have Dallas getting Iowa from Spain. Number 2, they got Lauren Betts going number 2 to who? To Minnesota. Ooh, gosh, Lee, Minnesota gets a number 2. Well, or whoever they got a lottery pick from Chicago. Jeez, dang, Chicago. That's what you
don't
talk
even
about.
Own their own pick, but they got Connecticut's.
Yeah, well, and then Chicago, they traded this pick for Angel Reese. I forgot.
Right. Absolutely.
People forget about that. So it's not I guess a trade wasted. Unless you trade Angel Reese this year, then it is a waste.
Yeah.
Seattle number 3. This is before the lottery. Olivia Miles going to Seattle. Number 4, Big Foe going to Washington. So now you got Georgia at the 1, Big Foe at the 2, Sonia at the 3, Kiki at the 4, and
Shakira Austin.
Shakira Austin at the 5. Or you could put Sonia at the 2 and Flage at the 3 on the wing. Like either way, both of those are just wing players. So
Washington was actually a contender before they traded Slim Brittany Sykes to Seattle. That was basically the Mystics punting on the season.
I don't know why she wanted to get traded, because she said she requested that trade. I don't know why she wanted to get traded.
Good question, because it's not like the Mystics were mid.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They overachieved. They overachieved compared to like what people expected them to be. And in the middle of that, she makes her first All-Star team after someone gets hurt and she wants out.
Right.
We got some tea right here with CBS Sports. King.
What they say.
Man. UConn fans, they be on me.
Yeah.
Say Big Foe better than AZ. And I'm not saying that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like natural talent, I think AZ got it. I'm not gonna lie. However, Flage might just be more dependable because Flage has been playing all 4 seasons. Talk about durability, everything like that, dependability. I can count on Big Foe to be out there to compete every single night.
And you could tell definitely she ready for that next level. She definitely ready.
100%.
As is AZ though.
But they have AZ getting drafted after Flage. That's definitely gonna cause some conversation on social media.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
They got AZ getting in Chicago. Do you think AZ is enough to keep Angel Reese happy? This is what Angel said she wanted. She said she wanted a guard that could go downhill and create obviously AZ's more of a shooter, but she can play that downhill. I think we'll see a lot more of AZ's actual game this season instead of a
Uh-huh.
spot up shooter role that she was playing next to Paige, because there's no more Paige. So now this is literally her show.
What about, do you think maybe the Sky would have a chance at Arike? Arike
Like
in
going,
Chicago.
you mean Arike for Angel?
Isn't Arike a free agent?
Let
I
me
believe
see.
Arike is an unrestricted free agent.
Hold on, let me go spot rack. Let me see here. Loading up. Load up the Drake. 2026. Oh, that yeah, that's next season. Yeah, that's next season.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, she's a free agent. Yep.
I think that the Sky could make. I think that the Sky, even though it's kind of difficult to convince players to play for the Sky right about now, but I feel like it makes sense. She played at Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a huge fan base in Chicago, and she's from up the road in Milwaukee, so it
Yeah,
could be a natural fit. They'd love her up there.
but it is. I feel like Arike she isn't coming off the best season of like Arike PR. You know, like beforehand, Arike had like, of course, she had the attitude, but at the same time, it was like, she's gonna get you buckets and she's gonna be a bucket. Now it's like, what's going on? Like it's like
Yeah.
I felt like we've gotten less Arike attitude, but like less buckets. So
Yeah.
it's
Because
just
they
like,
found no role for her in that offense in Dallas. I kind of wonder, you sort of wonder if they got rid of, Coach Coughlin, if they got rid of their coach as a way to probably say, okay, do we got to do this because we trying to keep Arike, knowing
yeah,
she's a UFA?
yeah. Okay, so say you get AZ coming in right as your PG, and then you bring in Arike to be the shooting guard, and then you have Ariel Atkins not coming back. I don't know if what's the deal with her contract, but if you want to keep Angel Reese, Ariel Atkins got to go. That ain't gonna work. So,
Yeah.
and then you have down low, of course, Reese and Cardoso. So, whoever you put in at the 3, Banham looked like she gonna be out. Anybody that Angel Reese done called out in that article, you're gone.
Basically,
unless they're getting rid of Angel Reese. Which would be crazy, but I wouldn't put it past him. Luka Doncic got traded this year. but say you have AZ at the 1, and I guess AZ can fall back into like more of a passive role instead of an aggressive role. If you don't get Arike, then AZ has to, has to play a more aggressive role coming into the W, when most of her time in college, her past 3 seasons, she's played a passive role of like, I'm catch and shoot shooter, I can score when needed, when I need to pick up, I get hot, like I did in South Carolina or against Texas my sophomore year and things of that sort. I can do that when need to. But for the most part, Paige, you dominate the ball. I'll be right here for you as your backup. If you ever get trapped, kick out the ball to me. I'll make something happen.
Or feed it down low to Sarah Strong.
Exactly. And Sarah Strong now. Yeah. Dang, I forgot about Sarah. But you're gonna have to be aggressive all the time if you don't get Arike, and it's just AZ in Chicago. Now, if you get AZ and Arike, then AZ can kind of be in that role that she's been in college. I don't know. Like, do you think that works?
It depends. I mean, it depends. Like, I think it's very interesting, and the Sky will be another one of those teams that's very interesting to watch. But the issue, I think, with one of the issues that kind of sticks out to me with the Sky is how Chicago actually had a worse season than they had in 2024, but yet they're going to run it back with Coach Marsh. So that is so I think that will definitely be something that I'm certainly thinking about. But how they're able to construct that, if it is a situation where they do indeed draft AZ, and the thing is, we're gonna have to see that, like you said, we're gonna have to see that aggressiveness from AZ coming up this coming season with UConn. because
Yeah.
obviously Paige isn't there anymore. So it's basically going to be, kind of the AZ and Sarah show.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm thinking with Coach Marsh coming back, I like Angel at point forward, but obviously I think this season Angel proved I can't be point forward full time. It's like what LeBron was saying on his latest podcast with Steve Nash. In the clip, I saw the clip where he was saying it was weird the way that he was playing as a rookie in Cleveland, because even though he could bring up the ball, pass, catch, and shoot, he wasn't doing that full time in high school. Like, regardless of what the highlights might show you, he wasn't doing that full time. He was still playing his role as a small forward, standing in the corner on the wings. They run the play for him. He come up and get the ball and make something happen. Or he get the ball and then keep passing, keep moving. He said he was playing the game the right way. That's the way he was taught the game. And he said, regardless of talent level, like, the basketball the right way is basketball the right way on all levels. And I mentioned that just with like Angel Reese. Like, Angel Reese can play point forward sometimes, but she don't need to be bringing up the ball and be point forward every single time she's in the game. She already got to be dominant on the post. She already got to box out and get all the rebounds. Like, she already has to do all of these things. That was wearing her down. That was wearing her out. Now I'm looking at durability. We were talking about AZ Fudd. Angel Reese, both first seasons, she's been hurt for an extended period of time. Is AZ Fudd a person that you want to bring in a situation where your other star player gets hurt all the time, every season, at least for a couple of weeks? I don't know if that's something that you want to do if you're Chicago. These are all things that you have to keep in mind. But the reason why AZ Fudd will even be available at number 5, getting drafted after Olivia Miles, getting drafted after Flage, is because of the fact that she gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? And she has that history in college. So I don't know. What do you think about in terms of that, of like her injury history and things of that sort?
That's a good question. That is a good question. And, it's interesting because, AZ and her injury history, I feel like, is certainly going to be something that teams are going to take into consideration. But one thing that I think we kind of forgot is Paige herself also had an injury history coming out of college. In fact, Paige, if I remember correctly, she was hurt a couple of games, a few games even this season. Now, it's one of those situations where you're going, like you said, from a Paige Beckers, who is, a generational talent, to AZ, who's kind of, a step below that. But it is going to be a situation where that is going to be, I think, certainly part of the calculus with these teams when they're looking at somebody like an AZ Fudd and think, okay, we want to draft her, but at the same time, it's one of those situations. Do we want to? That is a concern, especially considering now that the WNBA season is so long. So that will be interesting to see. Like, if it's a situation where she gets drafted in the lottery or she falls further down, in that first round, kind of like what Angel Reese did when she was drafted in 2024.
Right. No, 100%, 100%. I think it's something to look out for with Chicago. Like, do you want to bring in another banged up? Oh, was this just the lottery? It must be just the lottery here in this story. I wanted to see the rest of the first. Is that it?
It says mock
top
draft.
5 picks. Yeah, it says top 5 picks.
Oh, top five.
Shout out to Jack. Hold on, I'm gonna go back, see any other mock drafts, NBA draft room. Let me see. Okay, so they got Lauren Betts going number 1. This is more of like the stuff that we know, like all the Americans and stuff. Because they got on Michael over there at ESPN for his mock drafts.
Yeah.
They didn't have
Vopal?
Yeah, Vopal, the Hall of Famer. His mock drafts didn't have, or their mock drafts didn't have. Hold on, let me switch to my face cam. They didn't have any foreigners, and everybody was like criticizing it in the comments. They were like, "This is a terrible first draft. What about so and so from Spain and so and so from this?" Okay, but let's see. Dallas gets Lauren Betts. Okay, Olivia Miles to Minnesota, Tanaya Latson to Seattle. Okay, and then the center from Spain, Alba, going to Washington. Chicago getting Medina. Okay. This is okay. That's different. Medina going to number 5. I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie. This off top is invalid.
I
I don't
see.
see nobody from. Shout out to Mississippi State. No one from Mississippi State is going before Flage and AZ for like y'all got to stop that right now, bro.
I see what you mean.
Respectfully.
I see what you mean.
Like what is y'all talking about? All right,
They
hold
got her
on.
going before Kiki Rice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
and she's a center though, so it's like
And Washington,
okay, centers isn't that?
or rather Chicago, and well, both Washington and Chicago are set as
Oh
far as
yeah.
bigs.
Chicago don't even need a center. That's the last
Yeah,
thing they need.
right.
They got AZ going to Toronto to the 6. They got Janiah Barker going number 7. They got Janiah Barker over Flage. Like, come on, bro. Respectfully. Shout out to Janiah Barker. Good college career. Flage had a great college career. And she did it at one school. Respectfully.
True. Exactly. Barker transferred
shout
to
out to
UCLA from
Janiah.
Texas
Shout out to
A&M.
Janiah. But that's just more me vouching for Flage. Like, come on. Flage going for number 1 pick this season.
Oh, I agree. Agreed.
I know
LSU gonna have a team with that big 3 of Flage, Michaela, and Fulwiley. They're gonna have a team.
My thing is like they all play like the same position. I do think
that's
it's
the thing.
how that'll work out, but we'll see. Because apparently they said like Mulkey doesn't like playing scoring point PGs, even though like Alexis Morris was a scoring PG, but like they said that that's not really her thing, that she likes to have that PG. Excuse me. Yeah, Flage going to Golden State. But they say Valkyrie, so I don't know how much we should take this mock draft seriously. Anyways, Ashlyn Jackson, she's a hooper, Washington. And then Nikepins, how you say her last name? Nepkins?
I think Neepkins or something like that.
Neepkins. She just I believe she just transferred from Indiana, and she's a hooper. Hold on, let me see. I think she averaged like 20 last year. Hold on, let me see. I'm looking it up. No, she was so she transferred from UCLA, or she transferred to UCLA. She transferred to UCLA from Utah. She averaged 19 points last year. I thought so. She was one of the top people on the portal. I remember that.
Right.
But I got the schools all the way wrong. But she's a sniper, bro. She could shoot.
Absolutely.
They got Kiki falling out of the top 10, going 11 in Washington. Oh, they got Sarah Williams falling all the way to 14. If you Atlanta, you take that for sure.
Exactly.
But Atlanta kind of, if you're Atlanta, do you bring back Brittany Griner and Bree Jones?
Oh, that's a question. Bring it back, BG, because BG wasn't the same BG we're used to seeing.
Yeah, she started to look old.
Yeah, exactly. That's a real question, because, like I said, she was not looking like the same BG. So you kind of wonder, if they would bring in somebody like a Sarah Williams. Who knows?
I know Bree Jones comes back 100%.
Because Bree had a much better season than BG.
Yeah, she fit in the system of spreading the floor, which was crazy because BG was in Unrivaled, and an Unrivaled, she's shooting threes and forced to play a more like kind of forward type of game, face forward game, and everything like that. So,
and that's more what Coach Smesko wanted to do. Exactly. He wants 3-point shooters. That's why he drafted Pow Pow.
Exactly. So Sarah Williams sliding to 14 just reminds me of when like Nas, she slid to like what, 14, 15? And everybody knew it was a slide when it happened, like, because Nas could have went like number 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you see what she did, 6th player of the year this year. So
right,
something there. Chloe Kitts at 15. That I'm not respectfully, that seems about right. Shout out to Chloe Kitts, get better soon. We see you, everything like that. They got Raven Johnson getting drafted in the 2nd round. Shout out to Raven Johnson, Hollywood. They got Ashton. Oh, this is definitely false. Ashton Watkins not even playing this season.
Right.
Cody. They got Cody kind of low for me. I ain't gonna lie. Rory. I know Rory is a bit low, but she also just short. salute to all the small guards, big heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reagan Beers, they got her in the second round.
Mm.
Jalen Brown, they got her going in the second round. Hannah Stalky, they got to go in late second round. That's kind of low for Hannah Stalky.
Yeah, exactly.
They got Jasmine Shavers at the end of the second round. Let me see. Okay, so they just had the first 2 rounds here.
First 2.
Any other thoughts from this mock draft, Keem, that really stood out to you?
That's
Second
certainly interesting. What's very interesting is Raven Johnson, because obviously she's one of those who's especially known for her defense, especially the defensive clinic that she put on Caitlin in that national championship game 2 years ago. But yeah, that's very interesting that they would have her at somewhere in that second round. That looks about right. But yeah, that's certainly interesting placement for her. Absolutely.
I think. Okay, so there's a bit of a conversation having around Don Staley guards. Obviously, you say, well, Leash was top 5 in MVP voting. Okay, cool. But when we're talking about Zaya, when we're talking about Destiny Henderson, and kind of them struggling to stick in the league and just have a home and consistent playing time. Those are smaller guards that are scoring guards. Raven is a bigger guard. I feel like she's more built physically and ready for the WNBA, physically speaking, because she's a bigger guard and she plays defense. Now, her offense is our offense. There's some work and it's left to be desired. But I feel like if you have the physical tools and you have the defense, maybe the offense, I think teams might be more patient with you figuring out your offense and stuff like that. Shout out to Haley Jones, by the way. She just announced her engagement today. Congratulations, Haley Jones. But Haley Jones is, she sticks off top for me. Haley in college did it all. It's like a Magic Johnson to me, one of my favorite players coming out of college. So I was hyped that to me, I thought she fell to number 6 to Atlanta. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is that. And, it turns out offensively, she just hasn't found a consistent enough groove in the W. She had a good season with Dallas. She had a couple good games with our other teams and things of that sort. And with Atlanta as a rookie, she had a couple breakout games, so it's in there. But consistently, she just hasn't found that yet on a professional level. And I think teams are still going to be patient with her and still give her chances because Haley has size. And that's what Raven has. Raven has size.
And it's also interesting because I feel like in many ways evaluating South Carolina, when you look at South Carolina players and you think about how they transition into the WNBA, it's very interesting because really when you look, the last couple of years when you look at South Carolina, it's really one of those situations where a big part of the reason why they've been so difficult to beat is because you don't know who's going to end up going off. Now, we have a good feeling as to who's probably going to end up going off for the most part this year. It's probably going to be Tanaya. It's probably going to be Joyce. But I think that's kind of the interesting thing when you look at South Carolina players and they start transitioning into the W, where it's really a situation where it's kind of, you can almost say it's somewhat of an incomplete sample size, because you could have somebody on South Carolina, they may go off for 20 some odd points, and they may have 6 the next game. So that's very interesting with the dynamic that Dawn Staley has down there.
And Keem, I want to ask you to look a little bit into your crystal ball here. And obviously you have Asia doing what she's doing as the best player in the world for the last few years, ever since she snatched the title from Stewie, probably 2020-ish, not 2020, but about 2022, where she snatched
23.
Yeah, she snatched the title from Stewie. You see what AB is doing. Second team All WNBA. Great postseason. Really bullied Asia Wilson to keep it a beam.
You're right.
Now you look at Joyce Edwards. Where do you see Joyce Edwards in 5 years?
That's a real good question. That's a real good question. I mean, I've watched Joyce play ever since high school, man. And and I and a bunch of other folk could tell, like, oh, she's the real deal. I mean, there's a reason as to why she won 2 state championships and almost won a third. I mean, Joyce definitely has got it like that. And it's interesting because the thing with Joyce is that there's a good chance she ends up going in the same draft as Sarah Strong, that 2028 draft. So, Sarah Strong looks like she's probably going to be at the top of that 2028 draft board. Where Joyce ends up is probably, I mean, she looks like she's definitely going to be a lottery pick. If we look early, way too early at 2028. But I'm interested to see exactly, because like you said, they know how to develop. Dawn Stanley knows how to develop post players. You look at Asia, you look at AB, you look at Camilla. Even to a lesser extent, you look at Ashlyn Watkins. So it's one of those situations where she's definitely in a really good situation for sure.
Okay, more specific question. Does she have a better WNBA career than Alyssa Smith?
I think I think that right now I would not be surprised, especially if she lands in a pretty good scenario. I would not be surprised if she had a better career than Alyssa Smith, because
No, no,
Joyce.
no. And the list, we have to keep this in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Liz had a great rookie season, right?
Uh-huh.
Before AB came in, before Caitlin Clark came in, it was 1-2 for rookie of the year, that their rookie years. And her family, for some reason, was trying to convince us that she was better than Ryan. Like I said earlier, that was not the case. And we certainly see it now, a few years later, that there's like a whole class between them.
Yeah.
But Liz has had some good moments in the league and things of that sort, but she's kind of turned into just being just a role player. Whether like she was a role player, like even you could say, oh, well, she's on Vegas with Asia Wilson, a stacked team. Yes. However, she was a role player on a bad team in Dallas. So she is just a role player.
Essentially. Essentially. That's
That's
why it's
just
all
what
about
she is.
situations.
It's all about situations, but she's just a role. And I feel like Joyce has the chance to be a star like AB. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she can be up there with AB and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
we'll see. She's still young. She's only a sophomore, man.
Right, absolutely. She got a lot of time. She got a lot of time to develop. And South Carolina is definitely going to still be in the championship conversation for sure. She got time.
Who do you think is the next person that could challenge Asia? Like, because I look at, obviously Paige, obviously Juju is going to do what she does, but I'm looking at Sarah Shaw. Like in terms of just who's at the top in the WNBA. You see my top 5. It's Coop, guard, Maya, guard, DT, guard, Asia, forward, Cheryl Swoops, forward, Candace Parker, forward. You know what I'm saying? So, and historically, it's usually been in the WNBA, the best players have always been the forwards. EDD, Stewie, Asia, Candace, like the best players have always been for Lisa Leslie, Swoops, you know what I'm saying? So, Tina Thompson, Tina Charles, like the best players have always been the forwards. So I think Sarah Strong plays a position and she has the tools to be that person down the line that could best give Asia Wilson that run to take the crown from Asia, or like compete with Asia all time and stuff like that. But that's just how I feel. Keem, do you have a way too early prediction of who could be that next person to challenge Asia?
I think the intriguing thing that sometimes we don't necessarily talk about enough with Sarah Strong is that, yeah, she has the body of a big, but she can shoot threes. I mean, in many ways, Sarah Strong kind of reminds me, she kind of reminds me of a Jonquel Jones type, to where, and then on top of everything else, she can play at guard. Like, Sarah Strong can play at guard, even though she got the body of a big. So, and I think that's one of the things that's so intriguing really about Sarah is, like you said, she's already a national champion, and, and was able to do it as a freshman. So I'm very interested to see exactly. And then coming out of UConn, and if it's one thing we know about Gino Auriemma, similar to Don Stanley, Gino Auriemma knows how to get his players ready for the WNBA. I mean, the list of names that have come out of UConn reads like a who's who. So, so she's in, so Sarah's in the right spot for sure.
Yeah, I have how many Huskies do I have in my top 5? I have two.
DT?
DT and Maya.
Right.
Yeah. I just have 2. I mean, Sarah, I think she's probably the next person that could challenge Asia down the line. Like, I think a lot of people are going to look at Paige. A lot of people are going to look at Juju, but I'm looking at Sarah. I think Sarah's someone that's going to be able to challenge because I don't know. I'm just looking historically of like who have been the best players in the league, like year by year, not all time, big picture, year by year, and it's usually like EDD, Stewie, like I said, Asia. Like it's always those forwards who play a front facing game. I feel like that started with Swoops and Tina Thompson, and it's kind of carried throughout all these years of just the best player in the WNBA is usually a front facing player like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, she's in a pretty good situation being under the tutelage of Coach Gino because, we talk about, like I said, the names, Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, Diana Taurasi, Tina Charles, Maya Moore. I mean, so many, like you said, Paige Beckers. I mean, so many. I mean, UConn gets you ready for the W. So, so she's where she needs to be.
I believe I had Sue in my top 10. And I was going back and forth with someone about this, and they were like, "Oh, why not Chelsea?" And I was like, "Oh, shout out to Chelsea, but it's it's levels." And they was like, "Well, I think Chelsea's better than Sue." And I said, "Okay." I had to quote Mac Miller and say, "Rest in peace, Mac Miller." Always with this stuff. It's like the same thing when people say the same thing with DT. Of like I have DT3, and they're like, I think Asia's better than DT." And I always say, "Rest in peace, Mac Miller," because Mac Miller said, the late great Mac Miller. He said, "If I ain't in your top 10, then you're a racist." And I think that's just what it is. It's like I gotta give credit to the white folks. Like the white girls is hooping. Like it just is what it is. Sue Bird is a hooper. Like now, do I think that like DT getting the GOAT award trophy in the middle of the 25th anniversary of All-Star game and all that? Do I think that was kind of crazy? And do I think it was crazy that during Sue Bird's like farewell tour, they were calling her like the GOAT and all that? Yeah, 100%. Both of those things were crazy because Sue Bird was never even the GOAT. And DC, like to like just name her the GOAT, like was a crazy thing to me to name her the greatest player like ever, like in the middle of everything. But
well, that greatest player combo, like once they get the CBA stuff negotiated, it's going to be a very interesting because remember, the next season of the WNBA, they're going to have, their 30 all-time greatest. So, so it's
is year 30 next year?
I believe so. Yeah, next year's supposed to be year 30.
Next year or 2027.
One of these years they're going to do the 30.
All right, are we going to look at that for legacy? I don't know if we can because who's that in my top 2?
Exactly.
Coop only played 5 seasons, and she was 34 when the league started. And Maya only played like 8 seasons, and she retired like 28.
And still won 4 championships.
Still won 4. So it's like, I can't be to Asia. Oh, Asia had a lockout in the middle of her prime. I don't know if I could say that because the top 2 did what they did in a shorter amount of time.
Exactly. And then on top of everything else, let's remember, Asia's already been to 4 finals. Remember the 2020 in the bubble, they lost. Yeah. Right, exactly.
The one that people want to forget. Like Asia, she had to get knocked down to climb up, which makes this like so much sweeter and stuff like that. Definitely salute to her for it. But
yeah, she had to get knocked down to climb up this year, let alone her.
Yeah, this year, yeah. And then someone brought up the no cap space. Someone from shout out no cap space. They brought up in the TikTok the year that BG blocked her, and Asia was crying in the paint and stuff like that. I remember that. but I forgot about it until I saw it. I was like, I remember that year, like, and
exactly.
See how far she came from there, like, salute
Right.
100% for sure.
Sure.
Wow. Keem, is there anything else that we want to discuss before we get you out of here and things of that sort? I know people just hopped on when they saw Asia's face. But is there anything else?
One thing I will say is, you think about, like I said, I think one of the things that may very well get glossed over is that you mentioned Jewel Lloyd a little bit earlier. This is her third championship too. So, and like you said, it was a situation where earlier in the season, she just didn't seem to fit in that starting five, but things worked when she came off the bench, basically doing an Allen Iverson Detroit Pistons type of thing. So, so it's amazing that she came off the bench, like you said, a couple of years after she had that amazing scoring season that she had. I believe it was 2023 with Seattle. But yeah, absolutely. It all just, came together. I feel for AT because she also deserves. But yeah, wow, what a 10-0 in finals games for the Gold Mamba. I mean, amazing. Wow.
No, this is a crazy stat. And shout out to
Yes.
Stewie as well, but goodness gracious,
Right.
she's 10-0, bro. Like,
Yeah.
she hasn't lost a game in the finals?
That is incredible to me. 10-0 in the 10-0 in the finals.
In these dang spam low comments, it's trying to get me banned off of YouTube.
Oh my gosh. Those are the ones I get those
like
too.
draw over these. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do? Zoom in. Let me see. Can you zoom in? Okay. All right, you zoom in. Trying to get me banned off of dang YouTube. The heck? Got bots. But yeah, man. That's a crazy set. It's like the opposite of shout out to Angel McCautry. Shout out McCautry's ice cream. McCautry's ice cream is really good. If you're in the Atlanta area, stop by Riverside Parkway. But that's the opposite of Angel McCautry right there.
Right, absolutely. That is so amazing to me. So yeah, now all of a sudden, she got 3 rings just now, like Asia got 3 rings. So
3 rings.
amazing.
Chelsea has 4.
Right, exactly. Because remember, remember Chelsea won with the Sparks, if I remember correctly.
And she won the one for the Sparks. Like, she hit the shot to win it for the Sparks.
Right, exactly. So, wow, amazing, absolutely amazing for sure, man. Ooh.
And Jackie Young has 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. She got 3 too. Oh wow.
What a career for Jackie Young. Jackie Young has 3 and
already
gold medal. And yeah, Asia has. I can't even keep up with Asia stuff. 1 championship, 3 WNBA championships, couple gold medals, 4 MVPs, a few defensive player of the years. It's a lot for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's gonna have a trophy case. She is gonna have a trophy case in some years when she calls it a career. She is gonna have a trophy case.
Well, once again, the good news about her falling in love with Bam Adebayo is she doesn't have to worry about Bam. You know what I'm saying? Crowding up the space. It could be. You know what I mean?
Poor Bam, but yeah, Tyler Hero ain't leading you to a ring, Bam.
All right, King. All right, King. Is that it for you tonight, man?
That should be it for me, man. That should be it for me. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm glad I could definitely, like you said, just, hop on, just, reflect on the season. Congrats, give the Aces their flowers. And yeah, absolutely. What a season it was. We saw the rise of the Valkyries, that what the Dream were able to do before they got bounced in the first round. What the Mercury were able to do after it looked like they were going to be in a rebuild, and then with the Aces, doing what the Aces do, which is winning championships.
Do you think Toronto or Portland can do anything close to what Golden State did this year?
You know what? That is a real good question. That is a real good question, because I feel like now there's pressure on Toronto and Portland, and there's going to be even more pressure when we get even more of these teams. Cleveland, Detroit, Philly. Like, there's like the Valkyries, what they did this year. I mean, they set the bar pretty high as far as expansion teams. Now it's a situation you can't just be an expansion team and just and just bring in players and just kind of go through the motions. Now you got some kind of expectations on you, I'll be interested to see. Like, I'm kind of more bullish on Toronto than I am on Portland, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what both the tempo and the fire are able to do.
Yeah, and the return of the fire as well.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. I want to see. I think Deja Kelly's gonna be back in the league next year. I think Taya Cooper might get back in the league next year. I think Crystal Bradford. No, not Crystal Bradford. Crystal Bradford too, but yeah,
Kennedy?
no, Crystal Bradford, and Crystal Dangerfield. I think they could get back in the league next year.
You think there's any hope for Kennedy?
Now, see, that's not a matter of. I feel like the names I just named is just a matter of we didn't have enough spots. Kennedy's not in the league because of politics. So I don't know if one of the expansion teams want to take that chance. Me personally, the thing that Angel was asking for, she just described Kennedy Carter. So I was like, what's going on here?
I mean, Gabby Williams basically played her way back into the league because of what she did last year at the Olympics.
But Gabby, that was also politics. That was her being like, I want to play for France. I don't want to come back to the WNBA by the deadline. And then, her talking down on the WNBA after not getting in. Like, it was like a thing of like, the W wanted Gabby, but Gabby didn't want the W back because she didn't like how they were treating her in terms of her, coming back and playing for France and missing the deadlines to come back to America. So that was the thing with Gabby. Kennedy is just an outright like she's a problem for locker rooms. We don't trust her. Like on some Liz Cambage stuff.
Good comparison.
And that's it's funny. Both of them are on the same team in LA.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I hope Kennedy gets another chance. It can't be that bad. Like, it just can't. Like, for Courtney Williams to be in what she was in, you know what I'm saying? And to be like one of the darlings of the league now as a stud butt, like,
yeah.
Like, yo, she just fought some fans outside of a club, outside of a food truck. Like,
yeah, she's gotten in some stuff before.
And posted it herself. She posted the video herself and bragged about fighting with them.
Yeah, exactly.
The league darling. She's on late night shows and on all the magazine covers. But Kennedy Carter can't get in because some people said, according to reports, anonymous sources say that she might have had some problem. Man, come on, bro. On the court, the results on the court, bro, I think they speak for themselves, bro. Like, talented, and the teams aren't like just the worst team. Like, Chicago got worse without her this year.
Right. They could have used her absolutely this year.
And before Atlanta got better, Atlanta got worse without her. Before they landed Ryan Howard. Yeah. And rebuilt the whole team. So it's like, I don't know, bro. Kennedy can hoop, and whatever the politics, quote unquote, that comes with her, I don't think it's bad enough for that. But I told Morgan Jones after series 2 with the Fever, I said, stay by the phone. Morgan Jones, of course, former Florida State, former Louisville. She was with Washington in the preseason and things of that sort. I think she can get one of these full-time spots now. So AP probably going to have a permanent home after bouncing from team to team this year. A lot of the players that we see usually bounce from team to team. They'll probably have permanent homes now with these expansions. So, I want to know where Eve Wembanyama goes. I don't know if she's interested in going to the WNBA or what. But like when I seen her play, I was like, she can play. Her stats were good. And then I was like, okay, when is she gonna go? I'm thinking she's like 18. She's 23. I was like, wow. Oh, she just doesn't want to go to the WNBA. I don't know what it is. I don't know if she does or not. but she can come over to the WNBA. So
that would be interesting if she did.
Yeah, no, 100%, and probably played in Dallas just for the sake of her brother being Texas.
She could. There is that connection down there.
But yeah, Keem, let the people know what you have. Plug your stuff, everything, so people can follow you, support you.
Absolutely. So I'm at Akeem Balaam on Twitter. I still call it Twitter instead of X. AKIEMBAILUM. I'm at Beyond the W. I'm at Prep Girls Hoops. I'm at Prep Softball. And I'm also on the IGs as well. Akeem Balaam _.
All right, Akeem, I appreciate it so much. My A-League brother, as always, thank you for coming in on Clutch for this post-game episode and things of that sort. Have a good night, brother.
Absolutely. You too. You too. Absolutely.
All right. Akeem Balaam, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get my charger before I continue with the rest of the stream and things of that sort. But this is a celebratory stream. The Aces have won the 3rd championship in 4 seasons. This is just a celebratory. We celebrating Asia Wilson. We celebrating the Aces. Give me a second as I go find my charger or get my charger. I'm looking at it right now. Plug it into the wall and plug it on this laptop. W King. Caribou dropped today. I don't know if you guys seen that. She dropped something with she didn't officially drop it herself, but the producer dropped it. It's the producer that made I'm looking for it up with Sexy Red. That dude, that producer, he made the beat and he dropped the song with her and stuff. And let me see. All right. Bet. Let's get to it. That's funny. All right. Let's go, man. Let's go. I hope everybody had a good night. Things of that sort. Y'all enjoyed the game. Y'all enjoyed the post-game show with Keen. And while I'm on, I might as well just do the rest of the stream right now. Let me see. Is there anything here that I need to see? I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. Post-game press conference coming in as soon as they come in. They probably not coming in until like tomorrow morning, just based off of how stuff has been going. Saying this year and stuff. Let me see a game preview. Hold on. I'm gonna check to see if it came in. Let me see. Did it come in yet? No, it is not coming. So it probably won't come in until tomorrow morning. Just a heads up. If that, it might come in later than that, or not come in at all. So we'll see. I hope it comes in for you guys' sake. Their post game after winning the championship, that's always one of my favorite. Okay. We're gonna go to Doja Cat playing Fortnite. Bro, the sound of gagging is such a unpleasant sound to me, bro. It just makes me feel so uneasy. My stomach feel uneasy, everything.
I didn't get a glider, so that's fine. It's okay. It's all right. Who fucking cares? Right? Who fucking cares? It's a game. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if a bunch of people who don't play the game got a skin and a glider and I don't. That doesn't bother me. Nothing bothers me. I'm the happiest person alive. So. Oh. I didn't get a glider. Even get a chance to breathe. Don't shoot me while I'm in the sky, you fucking punk bitch. That's so weak. That's such weak-minded fucking bullshit. Who does that?
Hey, Doja bitch, can you stop cussing? You have young fans.
Whoa! What the fuck do you mean? He had a Sentinel pump shotgun and it was legendary. admit that that was so fair because that man had a better sentence. Man had a better shotgun than I did. But fuck you. Like, I didn't even get a chance to breathe.
So the thing with like I never played Fort or anything like that. I don't play like many games and stuff. But like I feel like I've seen gameplay of Fort so much that I've understood the game relatively. Just from watching, all right, bro. From watching you know, all the stuff. Did she actually puke? Whoa, what? All right, bro. Fam, what is this? Why is she dressed like that while playing the children's game? Fam isn't. Would you say Fortnite's a children's game? But yeah. Anyways, next thing next. The Macy's agenda.
So y'all gotta check this shit out. I'm in Macy's right now. In Philly at that.
Hold on.
And I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life, gang. Man, if this ain't no agenda, if they not pushing agendas, I don't know what agendas is, gang. Hold up. Just look at this shit. Just look at this. So we walking out and I get to the Christmas section, right? Now hold up. So I was like, oh, my baby was crying. You know, look at the baby. She was crying. And so I'm like, oh, there's Santa. So we see Santa, right? And so, you know, white Santa is normal. Then I see black Santa. I'm like, oh, we got black Santa. Man, look, they done made Santa gay. A gay black Santa. Look at his outfit. This nigga is gay as hell, dog. If this ain't gay, he got pink presents. He got a glitter pink robe on. Like, look at white Santa.
Santa
White Santa,
bedazzled.
nice and traditional. He got the platinum on. You know, he iced out. Look at him. He's shining. Look at cuz looking like Liberace over here. This shit crazy.
The Santa bedazzled.
Black Santa. This how they do us. I'm telling y'all, they pushing this. This is what they want us to be.
They throwing in all the little diverse things all together. Like they said, we're gonna have the black representation, the color representation, and the gay representation all into one.
As a society. This look like Diddy with a mask on, with a beard. Come on, gang. They know what they doing. Black Santa, gay Santa. Black gay Santa, huh? It's crazy. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. Oh, man. It's another one? Hold up. It's another one, gang. Zesty Santa. Real zesty with it. Why the black Santa gotta be like this? Why it gotta be like that? Look at cuz. With his silver boots on. Y'all out of pocket, Macy's. Macy's out of pocket. I just want to let them know.
Dang, Christmas shopping is crazy. Christmas really 2 months away. Black Santa got the boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. Ho. Delete AI. Delete AI.
All right. The jig is up. Delete ChatGPT, delete Sora, delete any AI apps you have on your phone. Stop your support now.
Been saying this.
You need to understand something. Pandora's box is 99% of the way open. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the myth, but once it opens, it cannot close. Oh my God, it's so funny. Jake Paul doing gay makeup tutorials. They're making child porn. People are making child pornography. That is nigh indistinguishable from reality. You are going to be framed for something you did not do. It's gonna happen. We can't stop them from developing it. But what we can do is stop feeding them the money they need to do it. It's over. You want to be a creative? Sorry. That field has been replaced. Computer software, fucking forget it. That's already cooked over and done with. 3D rendering, artist direction, architecture. Do you understand that you are being replaced? You, all of us, are being replaced. The functions that make us human are being robbed from us.
I've been saying this for months. I thought I was gonna learn something new from it, but I didn't. Plus, it's bad for the environment. It's bad for the environment on top of all of that. So hey, it is what it is. Okay, Michael Irvin. Hold on. Let me reshare the audio. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen this clip. I haven't seen it. I've avoided it for the past 2 days. This is a clean version, and then we got to go to the other version. If you don't know, on YouTube, you got to clean up the first couple minutes anyway. So I'm probably gonna have to clean up the last minute of this once I get the real version. We just gonna play the clean version right now.
Get the out of my face talking noise until you know what you're talking about. I will dominate this era of football. Dominate. Keep my name and my image. Don't try to shit on my work when I won championships on every level. On every level. When they can knock me out. I call passes in the midst of pain. Y'all don't do that. Y'all ain't never had to do that. So shut the hell up. Get the out of my face talking.
You gotta love Michael Irvin, bro. Gotta love Michael Irvin, bro. Here we go. The full Michael Irvin rant. Hold on. I gotta reshare the screen. Full Michael Irvin rant, man. Here we go.
That these boys are covering neither. Who?
Turn it up.
You gotta line up every week.
Every week. Every team got a dude or two that will bust your ass. The receivers from back then
Might not be prime though.
These guys that he played against weren't that fast, bro.
No,
They were stronger, but they weren't that fast. These guys now, I would love to see him. I would have loved to see him play against Chad in his prime. I would have loved to see him play against Justin Jefferson right now today. You know, all these different guys. I would love to see him cover Tyreek. If Prime is who we think he is.
Are you shitting me? We are the two most accomplished receivers in the history of this game. When you're talking about the most important things, championships, and your stupid ass talking about running fast like people weren't running fast back then. Are you shitting me? What the hell are you talking about? I don't even know your name. And I certainly don't know your game because you don't. I don't see you every year with a gold jacket in that Hall of Fame room. I don't see you anywhere great players are. So who the fuck are you to talk about what? Deion Sanders couldn't cover these guys today. Do you really know what you're talking about? Do you really have any clue at what you're talking about? You think there were not fast guys in the league when I played? You think?
I want to say this before I forget. Real quick. I know. Boo, 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 Rashad. All right. This is the case for everything. In every sport, everything, every generation, every woo. You can only go off of how great people are in their era because based off of the medicine, the resources, the weightlifting, the research, all of that stuff available to you. You can only be as great as that. Like Wilt Chamberlain, to be as athletic and as crazy as he was on the basketball court back then, before anything was available, before weightlifting and all the workout, and to be built like LeBron James and be jumping from the free throw line, finger rolling, and before all of that stuff, bro, and even having a reference of like, okay, Michael Jordan jumped from the free throw line. Michael Jordan went up and, Dr. J did this. So what Michael Jordan started doing, he started taking off from one side of the rim to the other side of the rim. And then, people say, oh, Lonnie Walker does this 3 times. No, Lonnie Walker had a reference point. Michael Jordan, who had a reference point, Julius Erving. For Julius Erving, who was doing that on a regular basis? greatness is greatness in any era. You can't downplay greatness just because people aren't as physically and smart. Of course, natural progression. Humans are going to get faster and quicker and everything like that, but more, when kids can do this at 5 years old, it's just natural, bro. Like they're going to be stronger than a previous because they just have more pregame, wheat, supplements, all that stuff to make that they can make them stronger. And if you sleep at this many hours a night and do this, you ain't know that back then. You just eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, go to sleep or wake up and go to sleep when you can and wake up when your mama tell you to wake up. You know what I'm saying? It's different, bro. It's just different for every time period. And that's what it is, bro. So you can't diminish anybody's greatness because they played at an earlier time. You just can't do that.
Tyreek Hill can outrun an Olympian like Bullet Bob Hayes, who played before me. You think he can outrun the Ronaldo Nehemiahs who tried to play in this game? You know why he tried? Because they wanted speed in the game, but other things were required when we played. You must get to run around and play fucking 7-on-7 touch football. We had pain in our game, and y'all don't even know shit about pain. Every route you got hit, even running around in the middle of, you could get tapped by those linebackers. They took all of that out the game because y'all asses were soft and you couldn't take it. You come from a damn era of everybody gets a trophy in NIL where nobody fights for a starting job. I ain't started. I'm going to go leave and start somewhere else. Get the fuck out of my face talking noise until you know what you're talking about. I will dominate this era of football. Dominate. Football's not about running fast. It's not about speed. It's about getting the job done. It's about getting the job done. And you won't tell me you know somebody that got the job done better than me, better than Jerry Rice, that you're going to use our picture and trying to make your point. Are you stupid or are you stupid? They will separate from ball, separation from the football. And it was allowed. It was encouraged. It was actually praised when you knocked somebody out. If anybody hit your asses, they'll suspend them for 3 weeks. You couldn't even play when I played the game. And some of these fucks you're talking about, they couldn't even play when we played the game. And even to tap on to how dumb you are and how stupid y'all asses are with oh my God, when you started talking about, well, Deion couldn't play with these guys. I want to see him play with some real fast guys. See if he can play with all these speed guys. And then the first 2 examples you bring up was Chad Johnson and Justin Jefferson, who are not fast guys. I don't mind you being stupid. I don't mind you being dumb. I don't mind you not knowing what the fuck you talking about, but keep my name out your mouth when you don't know what you're talking about. Keep my name and my image. Don't try to shit on my work when I won championships on every level. On every level. When they can knock niggas out. I call passes in the midst of pain. Y'all don't do that. Y'all ain't never had to do that. So shut the hell up. You or none of these fucks could play and do the things I did. So shut the hell up. I won championships. That means I went in and made plays where pain lived. Y'all can't do that. Dude, I'll catch 200 passes in today's game. Literally 200 passes a year. A year. I ain't never catch a pass behind the line of scrimmage in my whole career. All my passes were up the field in the midst of pain. And I caught them anyway. And I caught them every day, and I caught them every kind of way. And the bigger the game, the bigger I played. So I don't care that you stupid. I don't care that your ass is ignorant. And I don't care that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But don't use my fucking image. Don't use my image. Don't use my image. And don't use Jerry Rice's image. Use somebody else. I don't know if you did it or your producers, but whoever did it, shit on y'all.
Hey, when he went to the NIL and transfer portal talk, bro, I said, "Oh yeah, this is an all-time old head rant. This is a quintessential old head rant, bro. We didn't have all the NIL. We didn't have water breaks. You ever played you ever did sports in high school and like the fall, like late summer, early fall and stuff, and then old heads be like, we didn't have water breaks. We didn't have water laws and everything like that. We didn't have heat laws back then. I said, yeah. Well, thanks to dang climate change, it's hotter than it was back then for y'all and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was different, bro. And I don't know. And because you was playing in the midst of pain, like most of the people your age and like around your age, your peers, like they're suffering because of it. They switched the game not because they were soft, but just because to make it safer for like mankind, and things of that sort. But regardless, in terms of just diminishing people's legacies, bro, I think it's 100% whack because you can only be as good as you know. Like, let's go to streaming. We'll take it to the internet, bro. Like, without Aiden, Kai doesn't go to what Kai does. Therefore, DDG doesn't go to where DDG goes. Max doesn't go to where the Max goes, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you need someone to give you like the blueprint of like, yo, let's try streaming in a different way. Let me get from around this desktop instead of just talking about instead of just playing video games and talking over video games, shout out Ninja, or just talking about the trending topics of the day, academics. Let me go outside and act like I'm vlogging, but in real time. Let me go actually stay inside on the desktop, but instead of just me sitting here and reacting to my Reddit and talking on the stream and to my chat, let me bring in a famous person and have them talk to the chat and we do something entertaining. Aiden was the first one to do that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? On that type of level. So you needed Aiden you always need a reference, bro. Regardless if, and I bring up that example because Kai is obviously more entertaining, in my opinion, to watch than Aiden. Speed is obviously more entertaining to watch, in my opinion, than Aiden. But Aiden was a reference point. You needed a reference point to show you could do this in streaming. So yeah. Speaking of streaming and things of that sort, don't donate to him.
People do
Moist Critical, one of the biggest, you know what I'm saying? One of the biggest for sure in this YouTube game. So salute to buddy.
I just don't want people to donate money to me anymore. I don't want that. I'm putting the kibosh on it. I felt uneasy about it for a while, but I convinced myself that I could deliver something that made it valuable for people that were donating. So like YouTube channel memberships. I had all these big ideas for content I'd do at the farm for members, but what I didn't account for is just how much we do at the farm and how time consuming that is. So I haven't been able to film any of that. So you are basically paying money for nothing. And it's not just YouTube memberships that we're getting a bad deal. Twitch subs too. All you get there is some emotes. Whoopee! Yeah, amazing. Yeah, some emotes that I haven't updated in like 4 years that are probably still locked at like negative 240p on some of the older ones. Like it is literally just money for nothing. And it's just been really bothering me lately. I would much rather you hold on to your money. Now more than ever with how everything's been going. I think it is crucial you get your finances in a fucking full Nelson and you just don't let those puppies fly willy-nilly donating clams to a goofball like me. If you're someone who just has all this money and it's burning a hole in your pocket, you have to donate it. You know, you have this insatiable appetite to just part ways with this money. Donate it to a charitable cause instead. There are so many good charities doing extremely good work that could be benefited greatly from your contribution. Like maybe you'd want to donate to a charity that's doing extremely important work in Gaza. Like that would be a significantly better use of that money than donating it to me. Like I would much rather it go to other organizations or other people in need.
I want to say it, but I don't want to say it. If you know, you know. You might have had the exact same thought too. For someone like this, one of the more successful, like he's up there darn near like Mr. Beast level, Moist Critical. He has enough money. And he's okay with having enough money. Right? So that's that. He doesn't want people donating their hard-earned money to him. That. I really like this train of thought. Because when you have it, you have it. There's no need to keep going and keep going and keep going. Hassan gonna take this as a personal attack too. Love to see a class hat. Let us say Kai Cenat can never relate. Begathon. Meanwhile, half of Twitch is out here begging for $3 donations like it's rent day. Don't donate to me is wild in this economy. This is why everyone respects Moist. No ego, just vibes. I'm just saying, like, this man is rich. He knows he's rich. Like, he recognizes it. He knows more than everybody else he's rich. Why does he need more money from his followers, bro? He doesn't. He doesn't need the money. He makes enough money from ads. He makes enough money on ads on Twitch. He makes enough money from ads on. Everybody's talking about this Detroit game. Let me see. Let me see the score. Detroit must have just scored. End of the 12th? Oh, so they must have got out a jam with Seattle. Jeez Louise. It's been an exciting playoffs the last couple days and stuff like that, man. But yeah. Going back to this. He's rich. He has enough money. Why are you donating? Exactly. I mean, why are you donating to him? You don't need it anymore. You know, he's good. It just is what it is, bro. I want to see this Hassan stuff. Apparently, Hassan's in some drama. I think Queso and Hassan were going back and forth. Let me see. Hassan and Queso. I'm saying Queso. I'm thinking about them boys. Where you at? Queso defended pausing gameplay during ads for non-subscribers. Don't miss out. It's only $8 a month. Not everyone got $8 a month. Give 10 people who ain't got a sub, then sub them. Queso is extremely underrated streamer. I don't catch majority of the streams, but he actually cares about his audience. Unlike top streamers like Kai, Aiden, Hassan, he keeps politics out of his streams, and his posts are a big bonus. I don't know why people say that as a positive. Like, it doesn't matter if, like, you talk about politics and that. Like, politics are in everything we do. It's a part of life. My tweaking or Queso does not look real. Like, he looks like a video game character. That's funny. Every time I see, is it? Oh man, I'm trying to see this whole thing. I think they're going back and forth, or I thought so. Apparently, they aren't. Queso tells us how his business meeting was. He met with the legal team, and he said tonight is his live stream because he's going. What's going on? All right, I'm about to end stream. I do know someone was asking me. They said, "Oh, I missed it. I was watching the game. Are you still on?" I said, "Yes, I'm still on. And I don't feel like waiting and stalling, everything like that, for the sake of having this person on. So I think I'm just gonna call it now." Goodness gracious. He's one of the few streamers from the modern era that gets stupid rich by just enjoying games. No gimmicks, no controversy. Guy just loves playing games, beating himself. I hate how people always say stuff like that, bro. Like, why can't you just give him his props? You always got to down someone else, bro. Got to, Kai did this, Kai did that. Aiden, Sheen, da. I remember this from Snow. Oh, that was Snow Cone? I didn't even realize. This mentality is that you need to spend so much and flying to all these big events to be a big streamer needs to stop. Queso, one of the biggest streamers in the world, has the most basic Twitch thread set up and never leaves his house. Hassan. Let me see. Anything else? That's it. If you can't afford $5 a month, you shouldn't be watching. In case a true gentleman just pauses his game.
Yo, Mac with the 5. Appreciate you, Mac. You gonna talk about it's only $8 a month. Not everybody got $8 a month. So what about it, huh? So you got $8 a month? Okay, if you got it like that, give 10 people who ain't got no sub a sub then, since you got it like that.
Though the way he speaks, it throws me off every single time, bro. Like, where is he from? Where's Queso from?
Oh, it's only $8 a month? Gift 100 people who ain't got no sub a sub, dude. You got it like that. Go ahead.
Because it was like, I seen the thing one night where they had the person who was washing his hair, right? Kai's hair before he cut his locks. And they were talking about jobs, and he said, I never had a job. And I was like, that makes so much more sense. Because him, you know what I'm saying, asking for these subs and everything like that. Like, it was just crazy. It felt like it was just tone deaf at a time like this. And for everybody from the stream to, like, make their own subathons and stuff like that, like, it just feels very tone deaf. Like, people are struggling more than ever. Like, the economy's in a bad place. And, like, you asking for, like, give me more money. Give me more money. Like, you're the rich one. You're the one with the platform. You're the famous one. I don't know. I just thought that was crazy. Where's he? Where's his hometown? Does he have a hometown? He's from Arkansas? Oh, so he's just from the South. That's just a Southern accent. No, there it is. There it is. Hassan voted Queso for Gamer of the Year. Aiden Ross gives flowers to Queso for coming up on Gaming and That collabs.
Now, streaming is now like crossed over into like all IRL shit. Nobody gives a fuck about gaming anymore. Let's be real. Actually, the only person I'll give credit to that actually came out of gaming is Queso. You know what I mean? You gotta have respect for Queso because what he did was he came, didn't collab with nobody except for like Jinx at the very beginning, and now he's doing his own shit. You don't need anybody but games and his community. It's great.
He's just an entertaining dude. Is Queso? All right, so there is no thing with Queso and Hassan. People are just calling him out after he said that thing. All right. Well, I gotta get off the stream. Ayo, pause. Getting off stream. And let me see the score. Let me see the score. Just to make sure. Cause I feel like I'm gonna end up ending stream and then he's gonna be like, all right. Let me jump on. What are we talking about, Rashad? And I'll be like, dang, I just got off. I just ended the stream. Let me see. Let me see anything with a championship celebration. Any more Aces stuff? Lady Aces. Lady Aces. Lady Aces. Lady Aces. Yeah, we lost my 53. Yeah. All right, bro. Yeah, I'm about to get off. Y'all see my allergies acting a fool. I'm coughing all into the mic. Where is it? All right, bro. Y'all boys, y'all gents be easy. Shout out to Breezy. Congrats to Bree. All right, I'm getting out of here, man. Y'all folk be good. I want to hear the boos. I ain't gonna lie. Ace is talking reckless. I felt like they've been, well, I haven't seen any of the celebration, but I felt like they've been sober this year. Like, because the year was just so real that they overcame. They've been sober. All right, man. My allergies cutting up. I'm out of here. If you want to catch me, if you want to hop on stream, I'm sorry, it's over with. I'm ending the stream tonight, okay? All right, you all be easy. You enjoy the replay of this and things of that sort. I'm out of here. Oh, here it is. What's she? Okay, here we go. We have some stuff. Oh, man, she bought a tambourine. Lord have mercy. All right. What is this? What is this? I'm getting out of here, man. Excuse me. For real this time. For real this time. Where's the score? It's the middle of the 13th. Yeah, it's time, buddy. I'm out of here. I'm done stream farming now. Y'all be easy. Peace out.
Rashad, why you
anyways.
didn't hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.